The great Bobby Hall, one of the greatest hockey players that ever played. The Winnipeg organization wants to induct him in the Hall of Fame, and they will not allow it, or some people are saying no, because he was convicted of domestic violence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And was he ever? He used to whack her around. Joanne was her name.
Yeah, that would be Brett and the boys' mom. You're right, Billy. Yeah, that was.
They were not impressed.
But I'm not justifying, rationalizing it. It is completely fucking wrong. Any man who raises his hands to a woman is a fucking coward. If you're in a situation of anger and stuff, get out, leave.
You said it, Frank. He's a coward.
Coward. I wouldn't fucking stand for it. If anybody touched my mother or my sisters, I would be fucking ripping their intestines out of their ass.
That's going to be awkward, if Ulf Nilsson and Anders Hedberg are inducted and Bobby's not beside them. And I understand why they're going to try to keep him out. That's going to be.
I'm just telling you this.
I hear you.
One doesn't have, like, if it's in the rule book, then it is what it is. But the guy was a great hockey player, and one thing doesn't have to do with the other.
Right.
And you know what? He paid for his sins. But a lot of hockey players, there was rumor that Tim Horton was extremely violent.
I don't know that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, there was the big documentary that's what the allegation was. That when he was drinking.
All right, so
he knew exactly what he was thinking.
Should he be in or out of the Winnipeg Jets Hall of Fame? Let's bring Tony House in for this one.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot of, jerks in Hall of Fames. We can look at baseball with Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth and, Gaylord Perry, lots of cheaters. I mean, is this a character Hall of Fame, or is this just based on performance? I mean, O.J. Simpson, what do you do with him? You throw him out?
That's a good one.
Well, that's very perceptive, and that's a great point. Do you take O.J. Simpson, and you should technically. They're saying that he was a murderer. Now he's a convicted felon. Mm-hmm. Do you take all his stripes off and tar and feather him?
Yeah, Tony, you bring up Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb beat a man to death with a baseball bat. The guy was in a wheelchair, and was a
racist.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
he just was not a nice guy.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Georgia Peach?
The Georgia Peach, yeah. I mean, Babe Ruth did it on hookers and beer and hot dogs, for goodness sakes,
I'm just telling you, one thing doesn't have to do with the other. Bobby Hall was a great hockey player. He gave his life to the game, gave his life to the fans. He had some demons. I do not justify domestic violence. I have no time for that shit.
All right. Frank, in or out of the Winnipeg Jets Hall of Fame?
I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I do too, but he won't be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Bill. He won't be because everybody needs to be politically correct. That's
all right.
For Donald Trump.
Let me ask you this. Was he ever charged with the beating?
Yes, he was.
He was. Okay. All right. Didn't know that.
Well, guys, am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know.
Pretty sure he was charged, Frank, because it was common knowledge. They had pictures of her with black eyes.
I think he was charged.
Yeah. Too bad, but that's what he is. Mm-hmm. You can't hide that. You can't write that off as something that you did when you were at a streetcar one night and shot a kid. You either shot him or you didn't.